Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It is Julie here with your TipRanks pre-market morning update, where we are bringing you everything you need to know before the market opens. I will be here Monday through Friday doing these market updates before the opening bell. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you can stay up to date. This morning, we'll be taking a look at notable earnings reports, our biggest gainers and losers, plus other stock market news. So here we go. To start off, U.S. futures are set to bounce back here on Wednesday after all three major indices finished red on March 2nd. The Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ futures were all trading around 0.75% higher this morning. Now, moving over to earnings reports. Starting off with the semiconductor design company Ambarella. Their stock gained about 8.2% in the extended trading session after they reported better than expected fourth quarter results and forecasted Q1 revenue that topped the street's estimates. Their adjusted earnings of 14 cents per share outperformed analyst estimates of 8 cents per share, and their fourth quarter revenues increased 9% to $62.1 million, exceeding the consensus estimate of $57.7 million. As for Q1, Ambarella expects to generate revenues in the range of $67 to $70 million, much higher than analyst expectations of $56.2 million. Following the earnings release, we have seen several analysts upgrade their price targets. We also had an earnings report from Autozone, who also delivered better than expected second quarter results, reflecting strong domestic same-store sales growth. The automotive parts and accessories retailer reported Q2 sales of $2.91 billion, which rose 15.8% year over year and topped the street's estimate of $2.76 billion. AutoZone's second quarter earnings of $14.93 a share increased 20.5% year over year and outpaced the street's estimates of $12.90. And once again, after this report, we saw several analysts upgrade their price targets. One earnings report that did not come in ahead of analyst expectations was B&G Foods. And they have fallen up almost 6% after hours, as their fourth quarter adjusted earnings of 35 cents per share missed street estimates by 10%. Their revenues of $510.2 million also came in significantly lower than the consensus estimate of $533.5 million. The company did, however, manage to achieve top and bottom line year-on-year growth of about 8.5% and 25% respectively. Analysts have reiterated a couple hold ratings on the stock. One company that we discussed yesterday as having beaten analyst expectations was Target, who saw 21% year-over-year growth on their revenues and 58% year-over-year growth on their earnings per share. However, the Target stock ended the day down about 6.7%, and this seems mainly due to the fact that they did not provide financial guidance for the year ahead. Other companies expected to report earnings today include Okta, Marvel, Splunk, and Vroom. Now moving over to our biggest gainers and losers. And guys, it seems that Reddit traders might be at it again. Our most actively traded company was Rocket Companies. Under the ticker RKT, they closed the day yesterday up about 71%. And you can see on the volume there, compared to the average volume of 15 million, there was almost 380 million in volume. Some of our biggest gainers this morning include ChemPharm under KMPH, who is up about 70% so far. Ovid Therapeutics under OVID, who's up 75% in the pre-market. Transenterix under TRXC, who's up about 36%. And Ocugen under OCGN, who's up about 32% so far. Looking at some of our biggest losers, we have the Great Elm Group under GEG, down just over 10% in the pre-market. Luokung Technology Corp under LKCO, who finished the day yesterday down nearly 20% and is down over 12% in the pre-market. And Magnolia Oil and Gas under MGY, who also finished down a bit yesterday and in the pre-market is down nearly 11%. Taking a look at some other stock market news. It has been reported that Merck will help Johnson & Johnson manufacture doses of its newly approved vaccine. Now, Merck is actually one of the biggest vaccine makers in the world and has a well-established vaccine manufacturing apparatus, but their own vaccine program failed in late January, so they will be using one of their U.S. facilities for filling vials with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, a process known as fit and finish. Biocept and Aegea Bio have inked a virus test supply agreement as well. This will be a supply agreement for a new PCR-based virus assay kit. Under the terms of the agreement, Aegea will provide the assay kit to Biocept for validation at its molecular lab and subsequent commercialization of a laboratory-developed test. In IPO news, Oscar Health is set to make their debut on the New York Stock Exchange today. Now, this is a health insurance startup backed by Google parent Alphabet. They've priced their IPO at $39 per share, giving them a valuation of about $7.7 billion before trading begins. We've also heard news from casino operator Las Vegas Sands, who said that they would sell their Vegas real estate and operations to private equity giant Apollo Global Management for about $6.25 billion. The properties include the Venetian Resort Las Vegas and the Sands Expo and Convention Center. Shares of LVS were up about 3% yesterday and another 1.5% in the pre-market today. We've also seen Lyft shares rise a bit in the pre-market, up about 4.5% after they reported an increase in ride figures for February. And last but not least, we heard of an agreement between DraftKings and Dish Network. They announced an agreement in which DraftKings fantasy experiences and sportsbook will be provided directly to Dish customers. Both companies were up in the pre-market, with DraftKings up about 5.5% and Dish Network up about 4.2%. So that is our Wednesday pre-market morning update. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday, and we will see you back here tomorrow morning.